Hey, everybody, this is Joey from the DK Podcast. Thank you for coming to view episode number 5. This episode, myself and Justin will be recapping episodes 1 and 2. I hope you enjoy it. Just a heads up, we were having a little bit of microphone difficulties while we were filming this, but no worries. Justin is on top of it. Won't happen in the future, and we hope you enjoy. Thank you.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Justin, and I'm here with Joey.
Hi.
Hey, we are here to just have a conversation about episodes 1 and 2, and then we're going to do another recap episode. So, one of the things we're going to do here at Dreamcatchers Podcast is every 4 episodes, we will take time to do 2 episodes to review the last 4 episodes. Does that make sense, Joey?
Yes,
All
we're
right.
going to check y'all temperature.
Yes, temperature check. So what we're going to do right now is we're just going to unpack episode 1. So Joey, how did you feel about episode 1? Yeah.
I felt great about episode 1.
Okay.
I got a lot of good feedback.
Okay.
A lot of people were very interested in what was coming next.
Yeah. I heard a lot of good feedback as well. What were some of the things people were saying to you? Were people shocked? Were they like, yo, like you actually did it? Like you did it?
Yes, that's exactly some of the stuff that they were saying. They were also impressed with our production, thanks to you. They were impressed with how I was able to get through it because it was the first one.
Yeah.
And they really liked it. They really enjoyed it.
Yeah. I'm a little biased. I think you knocked it out the park. Once again, I thank you for just this opportunity to help you tell your story. As I mentioned, I don't take stuff like this lightly. This is my passion: production, podcasting, video work, and it's pretty cool to be able to use that skill set and partner with somebody that's actually trying to make an impact and change. So I think moving forward, the sky's the limit for us, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what's next for the podcast. So a couple of things that jumped out to me was there was a lot about your story that I thought I knew, but I really didn't know. So what was it like for you being that vulnerable publicly? I kind of know you. I'm getting to know you. I know how you feel about public stuff. So that vulnerability, let's talk about that. What was that like for you, that experience?
It really wasn't bad. I never have a problem with sharing my story because it's part of who I am. I won't say like I'm not a closed book. I always think of myself as an open book.
Okay.
So if a person asks a question, I'm willing to give an answer.
Good. Why do you think that level of transparency is important as a leader?
Oh, I think that it's important because you want people to be comfortable around you.
Yeah.
You want people to be able to be just as open with you.
Yeah.
So if you put it out there first, then they'll be like, oh, okay, she's cool. I can talk to her or him or whoever the leader may be.
Yeah, a lot of the feedback that I got was, I was like, man, she don't look like she's been through something like that. And the way you carry yourself, I tell you all the time, even as you tell me more, I'm just shaking my head like, you're not telling me the truth, right? But I think what's really cool is you are on the other side of that. And a lot of times what happens is we meet people while they're in transition, and there's nothing wrong with being in transition as you're figuring it out.
Right.
But we often don't hear about success stories like yourself or like some of the other people we talked about. So, I know we've already talked about it, but, one of the things I learned was this idea of having a support system around you. I know that for myself, the way I've, been fortunate enough to have really great people around me. I know that's one of the things you want to do through Dreamcatchers for a lot of people who are coming home. So if there's somebody listening to this and they're still on the fence about why they should partner with something like Dreamcatchers, what would you say to them?
I would say that you should partner with us because we will hold your hand.
Yeah.
And we will guide you the best way we know how.
Mm-hmm.
And you won't feel alone.
Yeah, that's good. One of the things I had here as I was preparing for this was I wanted to know what was some of your favorite moments from the first episode.
One of my favorite moments. Honestly, I feel like
The whole thing?
the whole thing because it just was amazing to do it. It was really amazing to actually bring it to life. Like we talked about it, and to actually bring it to life, man. It was amazing. Like that's the best way I can describe it. So I don't have a favorite. I love the whole thing.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. All right. All right. Well, I'm gonna niche down to be more pointed, more
Okay.
close. So for me, it was the question I asked because there was like guided stuff that I had, and then we started talking just through everything.
Mhm.
And I said to you, I said, well, what would Dreamcatchers look like if you had $1 million? And you was like, man, $1 million. I was like, you know what? How about 10 million? And you were like, what? So that was cool for me to see just the impact of what potential could be for you. And that said to me a lot about who you were as a person. That says a lot to me who you are as a leader, because I believe money doesn't like change people, it amplifies people.
Right.
So to hear your heart, a lot of times people will see a leader, specifically an African American woman leader, and they think she has to be like super hard and tough.
Mhm.
And there's this stigma around it. But we had an opportunity to really kind of see your heart towards people, the generosity around what Dreamcatchers is. So for me, that was a really cool moment. I think another cool moment was when we just begin to just break down your core values and the mission statement, and you had no idea that I was going to bring that stuff up, but I thought it was cool because we got to have opportunity to see who you were authentically as a leader.
Right.
And that says to me that's in you. Like it doesn't take a lot for me to get motivated to speak about things or get passionate about certain things that I'm passionate about.
Yes.
And I really appreciate your vulnerability and just trusting me and leading you in that, because, a lot of leaders, and we see it now, leadership doesn't necessarily have the most transparent, vibe around how they deal with stuff and how they talk about things. So those are some of my favorite moments. I think also too was there was something you said that was really, really impactful. And I never put two and two together. And it's slipping my mind right now. It'll come back to me. But anything else like that stood out as I'm mentioning favorite moments? Was there anything that jogged your memory?
Well, so the fact that you brought up the question about the money, you really caught me off guard because I told you after the fact, I'm like, I didn't answer that question at all.
No, you did.
At least not too mad like it. And then you're like, but you made yourself look realistic, look human, look down to earth. And I'm like, you know what, you're right. You're right. Because I don't think of the money, you know what I mean? Even though I know that it's gonna take money to get this going the way that we want it to go. And eventually we'll get there, God willing, we will get there. But just right now, money was not, I'm like, what? 1 million, 10 million, what?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's my job, is to make you think about the future. Right?
Yes.
That's why we're doing these type of podcasts, because in a year from now, when we celebrate the anniversary of the podcast, we'll look back at all the gems, all the nuggets, all the gold that's going to be pulled out of your life. So after reflecting on that episode 1, how has what you've learned about yourself influenced your vision and your thought process moving forward?
I learned that if I just do it with God's help, that it can be done. Like that's what I learned. I learned that nothing is impossible, because when I came to you, or when we started discussing, Dreamcatchers, a podcast was not even on my list.
Yeah.
It was not on my list. And you're like, you're going to do a podcast. And I'm like, okay. And then boom, we did it.
Yeah.
So
And
that's what I learned. And so I know that moving forward, that anything is possible. I could do anything with this.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah. You plus God equals the majority.
Yes.
So whenever God is with you, if he's called you to something, if it's his vision, it's his provision.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's more than 10 million, that's because that's what he wants you to have, right?
Right.
When it's something that you never saw yourself doing and you say yes to it, that's where growth happens. So how do you see yourself? We're talking leadership now, because this is a different, we'll niche down into the other episodes, but from a leadership perspective, you're going to be partnering with other leaders, other executive directors, other development companies, and all the different things that you have. As a leader, what are some of the things you're looking for in other leaders to partner with as you lead Dreamcatchers forward?
Um, being that this is all new to me, I'm looking for people who are willing to be open minded with me and have patience with me. Um, because I'm basically like the little sister looking up to my bigger siblings who probably have been in this longer than I have.
Yeah.
So shoot, I'm a leader looking for guidance.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny, as we're a faith-based organization. So when you stand that perspective, right, like as you're leaning into God as a daughter who's being led by a father, that's really cool. And that's where you're at right now.
Yes.
But there's gonna come a day where you're the mama and you're providing for your baby, which is Dreamcatcher. So
Right.
if I were to say to you, hey, there's 10 leaders that want to partner with Dreamcatchers, what would be some of the qualities you're looking for outside of just being open to help you, and what type of organizations, what type of people are we partnering with?
I mean, honestly, I would love to have other faith-based organizations to partner with,
Yeah.
without a doubt. I'm not saying that I wouldn't partner with people or organizations that are not faith-based.
Mhm.
However, they will know that, hey, this is where I stand.
Yeah.
I stand with Christ. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So any decisions that I'm making to partner with someone who's not standing with Christ, it would have to be Christ putting me in those rooms with
Yeah.
those people.
That's really cool. Excuse me. I remember when we first started talking about this, and I was like, so you want to do a summit? Are you gonna bring all the kids together? I was like, so what happens after that? Like, are you gonna introduce them to Jesus? And you're like, I just want them off the streets. And now you're like, look, if you ain't with God. So
We're
like
like,
you said,
we
things
are
change.
crisis warriors, and
Yeah.
we're out here fighting a good battle. And yes, we're
That's pretty
recruiting.
cool. That's really cool. Yeah, thank you for that. So any other feedback? Less than episode 1. We're going to talk about episode 2 pretty soon here. We're going to transition into that. But anything else that jumps out?
No, not really. Let me think. Something that was told back to me. What was it? That oh, people were telling me that they were proud because I'm doing something that needs to be done.
Yes.
I'm telling and I'm giving other people opportunity to tell their stories because, like you said, not a lot of people are out here promoting the success
Yeah.
that happens after, being incarcerated. So to give people the platforms to be able to share their struggles and how they've overcome them with God in their corner, like people they're really digging that.
Yeah.
They're really digging that.
Yeah. And I'll take it a step further. So you are the avatar of the people that we want to reach. What do I mean by that? So you're a single mom.
Yes.
Who was formerly incarcerated.
Yep.
Who's trying to live the best life that they can possibly live.
Absolutely.
So a lot of times we don't, in our media and society, we hear a lot of different images of African American women. And from what I've gathered, as I've been sitting back kind of studying and doing a deep dive in this, we actually do hear about some men sometimes coming home being successful, but we really never hear about moms.
Right.
We never really hear about the moms. We never hear about the female perspective of what's that like. So I think as I've sat back, I know you said you're like the sister, looking up to a lot of people in this field, but as we've had conversations behind the scenes of trying to figure out, I remember even with the Christmas piece, a lot of people were like, this really resonates and there's a big need for this, this type of work. So I think, you're onto something. And as I always say, the raindrop never gets credit for the flood, I'm just glad that I can be here while I can afford you. Cause yesterday's price. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah. I think starting with that episode and putting that out there, it's still getting momentum. People are really, 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 really excited. And as I always say, movements start with people. There's a movement that's going to happen through this, and I'm just happy to be along for the ride. So with that being said, let's talk about your first episode as a host.
Oh my goodness.
So how do you think you did?
I was nervous. I was nervous, and for real, I got in and got out.
Yeah, I think that might have been the fastest episode.
I think so.
Yeah, because I left and I came back. I was like, y'all done? I was like, and that, and it was good stuff. It was
Yes.
really good stuff.
Yes.
So, as I get to know you, I know you're not short-winded. So for it to be so condensed, I was just like, what's going on here? But let's talk about that. So you did the interview with Dante Works.
Yes.
From Veterans House.
Amazing
Veterans
guy.
Home.
Amazing guy.
He's a good friend. And that was a really good episode. You guys really touched on a lot of different things.
Yes.
What do you think you got from hearing it from? And I know you've been through the system and you've been through the process, but to hear a former parole officer give you some game and give you some insight, what was that like for you?
You know what's so crazy? So after we put that episode out,
yeah,
a future guest of ours,
okay,
hit me up and said,
that was a PM. Oh my goodness, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yep, sure did.
Man.
Sure did. Like, I didn't know. And I'm like, listen, I'm trying to touch all aspects. All aspects. So if I could get your judge in here, I'm trying to get your judge in here so we can find out, what their thoughts are and ideologies when it comes to, dealing with people who are going through the system.
Yeah. What's cool about that? I just thought about that, just put two and two together. A lot of people who went through what you've been through, they don't normally partner with the other side, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And they villainize it and they play the victim. And I think what you're doing and what you did is you allow people to see it from the other side, but also understand this prison industrial complex that we find ourselves into. So,
yep.
What else jumped out to you about that?
So I didn't know that Dante wasn't a veteran, and it touched me that somebody who's never been in that position or walked in those shoes has so much compassion for someone else who has fought for us to give us the rights that we have. Like, that touched me.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting for that to be part of his story. I was expecting him to say, like, yeah, I went to the service, then I became part of the law enforcement, but no, nope.
That's interesting you say that, because that, for anybody who's listening, that just says right there, like, you don't have to be a part of this system to make an impact.
Right.
You don't have to be a veteran to impact veterans. You don't have to be even formally incarcerated to help the people that we're trying to reach, help us with our mission. And I think that just really speaks to his faith. I know faith is a very big deal for him. And that's what it is to be Christ-like. You know what I mean? It's to see somebody else's challenge and lay down your life. I mean, I know he's sacrificed a lot. We're seeing the success, but success doesn't happen overnight.
Exactly.
So that's really cool. That's really cool that you caught that. What else jumped out to you from that interview?
Let me think. Dang. What else did we discuss? Oh, the levels of the house situation. How you level up.
Yeah.
You're not in the same situation, and as you graduate through the program, you know what I'm saying, and they get you right for you to go and do your own thing.
Yeah.
And the fact that he recognizes how important it is for
somebody to have their own space.
Yes.
I knew where you were going with that.
Yes. Like, that's very important, especially when you done shared the room with somebody. And listen, you not only are you sharing a room with somebody, your toilet is in that same room. So if you gotta go to the bathroom, you know what I mean? You can't knock on the door and say, hey, let me out so I could go to the bathroom, so I could get some privacy. You gotta do what you gotta do, man.
Forced intimacy.
Yeah,
that's crazy. I don't like to ride with people in the car too long, so you know what I mean? I'm just saying, that's crazy. Wow.
So to recognize that as being something important and implementing it into your program, that's clutch.
Yeah, that is clutch. Let's talk about also, I think, is he getting employed, or was he talking about the job piece? Or was that someone else? No, I think that might have been a different episode that we're working on. But veterans, housing, How many houses did he say he had?
I think he said 3.
Yeah,
Was it 3?
that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Anything else jump out to you?
Just the amazing person that he is.
Yeah, yeah. So how does that influence? How did that impact you? See, these first 4 kind of like really show you like, all right, we got something here, right? So what does that mean for DK moving forward? Specifically, so we have people like yourself who were incarcerated, who are success stories. Now we have someone like Dante who worked on the other side of this issue. And now they are also a success story because they're reaching back. So why is it important for us to get people like that on the podcast?
Because we need to, like you said, let people know that you don't have to villainize those people.
Yeah.
That's why it's important, because everybody's not out to get you. Like my judge, man, she could have threw the book at me. She wasn't out to get me. She recognized just by reading whatever information they gave on me, by reading that, seeing the people that showed up in court with me when I went to go and get sentenced, she recognized that I wasn't this terrible person, that I was somebody who made a mistake and I deserved a second chance. She didn't have to give me boot camp.
Yeah.
Like most, I don't want to say most, but a lot of people get boot camp after they get sentenced and once they get into the jail system and stuff like that. Like she did not have to give that as part of my sentence.
Yeah.
So that meant no matter what happens, not what happens, but that meant as long as I did what I was supposed to do, once I got into the prison system, that I had a ticket to go to boot camp.
Yeah.
And couldn't nobody take that ticket away from me but me.
Yeah. Yeah. So she gave you an opportunity while you were in a messed up situation.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's what you want to do with Dreamcatchers.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
Let's do the same thing.
Yep.
I don't want to spoil it because I know you mentioned that in another episode. I think you talked about it with Shakita, but you said you didn't even have your family come visit you. You said, look, one and done. Because I'm out.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's because she gave you that opportunity. You knew, you kind of knew where you were going.
Yep.
You had things set up for you.
Yep.
That's really cool. So what did you learn from the, what did you learn about yourself as a leader? What did you learn about the organization from that episode with Dante?
Okay, so I learned about myself. I'm just getting more comfortable with doing the podcast, and I'm ready. Like I'm ready. I want to keep going. I want to keep going because I want to keep putting as much information out that I possibly can, because I want to help as many people as I possibly can. So I'm like the Energizer Bunny. I want to keep going. Like I'm like, when's the next one? When's the next one? When's the next one?
I know. Like, oh, slow down, Gillian. Slow down. I know we got to pace ourselves. No, but we got a lot more coming. We have a lot more episodes coming. So get ready for that.
And as far as the organization goes, just who that's important. Who and that people are willing to give a lending hand to help me build this, because like you said, they recognize that this was a need when we were doing the toy drive.
Yeah.
So the fact that people recognize that this is needed and they're willing to help however they possibly can, I just learned like this is going to be something amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Well, you know what else is amazing?
What's that?
We just knocked out the 5th episode.
Hey,
so you're making strides. There's not too many people that can say they did 5 podcasts, right?
Yes.
Yes. I'm very proud of you. Very proud of you.
Thank you so much. I thank you. Yeah. I thank you for, taking a chance on me. I thank you for believing in me. I thank you for listening to God when He told you. Yeah, her.
Cool. I'm going to hold you to that. When I need money. It's like, remember, you said it. I got it on tape. No,
right?
Yeah. No, you're welcome. This has been I don't think it was on the last episode, but I did tell you behind the scenes. This has probably been one of the highlights of my career. You hope to be a part of something like this on the ground level. And I could see where it's going. I'm not biased, right? I see God in you, and my job is to pull the gold out. And there's a lot of gold in there. And I'm excited to see where this goes as you gain influence. I know we've been talking about things, but this isn't just a podcast. If you're watching this is a movement. This is an opportunity for you to get into something that one day you might not have an opportunity because it's going to blow up. And if I was a betting man, I would do what I could do to support Joey and the rest of the staff as she grows, as this thing begins to get momentum. Because we live in a time where people aren't investing in the right things. We're talking about tariffs and the economy and all that.
Yeah.
And one of the things I learned, now this is the preacher coming on to me, is that the best investment you can make is in the kingdom of God, because you can never limit that return on investment.
Amen.
And this is not just for us to just talk about how great we are and how great Joey is, how great the guests are. This is designed to create awareness so we can impact single moms who are faced with this issue of incarceration. You would have to be Helen Keller, and I don't want to offend anybody if you are deaf, blind, or mute, but you would have to be completely unaware to see that this is a major issue. And if you call yourself a Christian, we are called to serve people who are in positions that can benefit from our influence.
Yes.
So, I want to challenge you, if you've been watching this and you're trying to figure out how you can get involved, you need to go to dreamcatchers.org. And you need to sign up for the newsletter and get ready, because it's happening. And, great things are going to happen here at the podcast. So
Hey guys, once again, thank you for returning and viewing episode number 5. I hope you enjoyed it. The next episode 6 will be myself and Justin again, recapping episodes 3 and 4. For more information, go to dreamcatchers.org. See you guys later.